No one told me that menopause could make me feel like I was slowly unraveling. Almost a year ago, and I started hormone replacement therapy. And 12 months later, things feel different. So, was it worth it? For context, I'm 51. I'm currently on the Lalana 0.05 milligram estradiol patch twice a week, 200 milligrams of progesterone nightly, and estradiol vaginal cream 0.01% twice weekly. And before I go any further, hi, I'm Lori. I'm a mental health therapist, and I talk a lot about midlife mental health and nervous system regulation, both professionally and personally. So, let's talk about what actually changed for me. Before I started HRT, things weren't dramatic, but they also weren't subtle. They were uncomfortable. My sleep was lighter and more fragmented. I would wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. feeling wired. Not exactly anxious, just activated. My mood felt more reactive than I liked. Small stressors felt bigger. I cried easily. I felt overstimulated more often. I also had brain fog, hot flashes, headaches, joint pain, and a level of fatigue that just lingered. It wasn't a crisis, but it wasn't nothing either, and it was wearing on me. As someone who understands nervous system regulation, that was frustrating. I could feel my system working harder than it ever should have been. The first place I noticed a shift was in my sleep. Not perfect sleep, but deeper sleep. I wasn't waking up with the same wired feeling at 2 or 3 in the morning. My body felt like it could actually settle. My progesterone was increased to 200 milligrams nightly, and I noticed an even steadier change. It wasn't dramatic, but it felt like my nervous system had more of a landing at night. I wasn't jolting awake in the same way, and I wasn't carrying that activated feeling into the next day. And when sleep improves, everything else becomes manageable. The next shift was emotional. I felt steadier, not euphoric, not suddenly transformed, just less reactive. Small stressors didn't feel as overwhelming. I didn't cry as easily. I didn't feel like I was bracing against the day. There was more space between stimulus and response, more buffering, more resilience. Now, HRT didn't fix everything. I still deal with bloating. My weight didn't magically redistribute. My gut didn't suddenly calm down. I still have joint pain some days. I still get tired. I still have to manage stress and be intentional about sleep. Midlife didn't suddenly become effortless, but something important shifted. I felt like the background noise quieted. The hormonal ups and downs that were amplifying everything else, that part settled. And when that settled, I could think more clearly. I could respond more calmly. I wasn't constantly feeling like my system was on edge. HRT didn't solve my life, but it gave me a steadier baseline to work from, and that made a real difference. So, was it worth it? For me, yes. Not because everything disappeared, not because I suddenly felt 30 again, and not because midlife became easy, but because I feel steadier. I feel more like myself. I feel less at the mercy of hormonal swings I couldn't quite explain before. And when your nervous system feels steadier, your life feels more manageable. Your relationships feel more manageable. Your work feels more manageable. HRT wasn't a miracle. It was a stabilizer. It gave me enough consistency that I could actually work on other pieces: stress, inflammation, sleep, gut health, without feeling like the ground was constantly shifting under me. And in this season of life, that stability matters. This is just my experience. Every body responds differently, and working with a provider you trust is important. But if you've been feeling like something is off, like you're not quite yourself, hormones may be part of the picture. And you deserve real, thoughtful conversations about that. Hormones are just one layer of midlife health. I also talk about metabolic health, nervous system regulation, and how all of it connects. I'll link those videos here. And if you're walking through this season 2, you're welcome to subscribe and join me.